We're moving into a fire horse year. That's why the whale and the water is here now. It's here early to teach us this rhythm so that we have it in our bodies. It's not one of those water seasons ahead that are going to be the whole womb thing. We're going to be popping out the birth canal probably on a daily basis. And like the whale keeps breathing and going back in and breathing and go back in. So it's that sense is we're not going to deep dive and then stay there for months and then emerge strong in the spring. We're going to be strong in the spring because we will have managed this rhythm of surfacing and deep diving and deep diving. Hello everyone, welcome to Soul Weather, your mid-month energy check-in. I'm Dany Lyne. I'm an intuitive, and for the last 20 years, I've been co-creating wellness and aligned manifestation with folks worldwide, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. In this series, I'm going to tap us into the main energy through line so that we can alchemize the expansions and the contractions of the life force into our sacred flow. Join my YouTube channel to get your mid-month energy check-in. Hello to all of you, and welcome to Soul Weather and the energy forecast for December. It's an exciting time. We're in an unusual time, let's just say, because we found out with the collective earlier in just a week ago, that water is making a very dynamic and very assertive entrance, which is virtually 3 weeks before the official transition. And it's fully here in tandem with metal. So they're both fully here. It's not like even half and half. It's full of both. And so it's very unusual. And it's going to create a lot of different demands on our ability to listen and to respond to the kind of rhythm that those teachers are suggesting. The first spirit that I'm going to be connecting with is the tiger. So the protector animal of the spirit of metal. And the energy of whales is coming in very strong as well. So we've got our whale and we've got our tiger sort of standing by. I'm sure Ananda Mahima's not too far behind. I can feel her. I'm not sure if she's going to speak yet, but she is here in her heart holding space. She's very much the holder of this created space that we have here in Soul Weather. So just give me a sec. I'm going to settle in and let the messages come through. Just to be clear, the whale is coming in as the spokesperson of the spirit of water. So whenever I'm saying whale, I'm speaking, it's the spirit of water speaking. It's going to be that combination. And of course, when I'm letting the tiger speak, it's the spirit of metal speaking. So we're in for a conversation between the two. Let me see who starts. The tiger will start because we are actually in the metal season. So for those of you who are less familiar with the traditional Chinese medicine system and in temperate weather, in the Northern Hemisphere right now, we are in the metal season, which is September 21st to December 21st. So this is the dominant teacher. And the tiger is presenting again with the whole business of the big pause. It's saying, if you think of me and I'm here as your guide, I'm here to support you. Enter me through the pause. Think of my pause. Think of my ability to always land like a cat, always land on my paws. So whether you feel like you're doing backflips, or life is feeling like you're, suddenly launching into midair from a cliff, whatever it is that you're feeling, or, whether it's a more tornado effect, whatever you're feeling, whatever takes you and gives a sense of being ungrounded and disconnected from your body, from the planet, from that fundamental core anchoring, come back to the pause. And it's a particular aspect of the metal that's coming through. Earth is earth. The earth element, right, is the earth. It's the earth that's held by the roots. It's a little bit more on the surface of the planet. It's the interaction between us and the living beings, such as trees. But when we go into metal, we go deeper in, right? We're connecting with the crystals. So we're connecting with the foundation of the planet, like the most compact energy in the planet. So anybody who's been to Georgian Bay and has touched the Canadian Shield, there it's on the surface, but generally the Canadian Shield is deep down. So for those of you who've been in Georgian Bay, put the tiger in Georgian Bay and those rocks together. That will get you to where this energy that the tiger is suggesting. There's a cat fight going on, and I'm sure that's my cat involved. I don't know if you can hear it. So a feisty female. So when we're connecting through these big tiger paws, and we're connecting into the ancient rock, and the Georgian Bay analogy is because there's a lot of crystals in the Canadian Shield. So you're connecting to all of that energy. It is an umbilical cord energy to the earth. More than, they're just the roots that sustain your tree, as if that's very central. But this is beyond that. It's umbilical cord, and it's what you could say is connected to gravity. Just the fact that we're not floating. We're connected to the planet, to this whole force of gravity, and we're spinning and we're going around the sun. It's much more in that sense cosmic. And it's taking in this whole business of the galaxy. So and it's the irony, the deeper we go into the earth, the more we're connected to the fact that it's this planet, right? Hurtling through the sky, basically, and spinning and doing all kinds of things. So, but that's how solid this is, that we don't have to think about that every day, right? We're not getting nauseous because we're spinning. Like, think about it. It's like so embedded that it's virtually invisible, just like the crystals in the earth are not visible until we start mining them. So taking that into account, taking that solidity and that really strong foundational pull, which is connected to a kind of magnetism as well, right? And all the circuitry at that level in the planet as well. And then the whale says, and I'm a whale. I have to go up to the surface and breathe. And I have to go down. And I have to go up, no matter what's happening at the surface. This was coming through in the last transmission. There's a suggestion there that the energy, and if any of you follow Chinese astrology as well as traditional Chinese medicine, we're moving into a fire horse year. And February 17 is the Chinese New Year. The fire horse is a very dynamic, very unpredictable force. So we're moving in. I just figured out this morning while I was meditating for this transmission that's why the whale and the water is here now. It's here early to teach us this rhythm so that we have it in our bodies by the time the February and March of this year hits. So I just got that, there's always a good reason if water's doing something and it's unusual, it's always for us. And I realize now it's teaching us right now. We get to rehearse this and we get to try it out in our life with whatever is presenting in our lives right now. So the whale is saying that even in the water season, which will be December 21st to March 21st in the Northern Hemisphere, we will have to go up to the surface and it's going to be very busy and we're going to have to keep remembering going down. It's not one of those water seasons ahead that are going to be the whole womb thing. We're going to be popping out the birth canal probably on a daily basis. And like the whale keeps breathing and going back in and breathing and go back in. So it's that sense is we're not going to deep dive and then stay there for months and then emerge strong in the spring. We're going to be strong in the spring because we will have managed this rhythm of surfacing and deep diving and deep diving and then surfacing and being fully present, fully engaged, fully competent, right? Like in our resources, aligned with the resources we have and putting them into action, into practice. And then whatever we've learned about taking long baths and breathing and candlelight and our favorite music and meditating and yoga and qigong and tai chi and whatever else that you've got as methods to diving deep, you're going to have that coexisting and overlapping every day. The whale is saying, I don't have a choice. I have to surface to breathe. It'll be the same for you. So even when you want to stay in the depths, you will have to come up to breathe. But even when you're overwhelmed on the surface because there's a storm, you're going to have to go to the depths. You're going to have to talk yourself out of whatever story and habits that you have so that you keep this rhythm going. Whales and the big mammals, I've seen this in elephants, for instance. The way their metabolism functions, like I think a whale's day-to-day consciousness is the level of meditation we dream of having, basically. Same with elephants. They're in the zone. They are just like cruising through as yogis, basically, walking and swimming yogis. They're just at such a high vibration, and it's I don't know what all the technical words are for, the theta brainwaves or the this and that brainwaves, but they are never in day-to-day consciousness brainwaves that we're in. They're always in a deeper state. So that's the feeling they're giving me, is that the reason, right, you need to go through these depths and actually change, right, the brainwaves that you're in through whatever technologies and methods and discipline that you have, essentially. And whatever you're willing to learn, and breath work is a big one here as well. It's the whale, right? You will, when you surface and you're going to be in the storm and you're going to be in day-to-day life, the whale is saying it's to your advantage to learn how to be in day-to-day consciousness differently. So it's water, right? We're talking our nervous system here. We're talking about If you have a moment where it's time to reprogram your amygdala away from fear and into love, this is the time. This is the time to deactivate the vagus nerve, to change the vibration in your reptile brain, in the medulla oblongata, to shift the vibration. So you're talking about learning how to maintain a certain level of calm, basically, so that you're not flapping in the wind at all and trapped also in architects of survival. We're back to that theme, right? Architects of survival have not been our best friend. They never really are, but they really haven't been. This has come through in so many transmissions, that our architects of survival, which means, right, all of the stuff that triggers the brain frequencies of survival and the mechanisms of that and the ecology of that in our body, which will include your whole endocrine system, right? This is absolutely key. And so the whale is saying, right now, I'm here early and I'm here teaching you a rhythm, and you get to rehearse, you get to practice, so that as the energy on the planet is going through, you could say, this fire horse energy, that you will have the tools and the resources and the rhythm already implanted in you, so that you're not having to think about it all. You're by that point actually just doing it, not even implementing it. That sounds like even more intention than you would even need. So the tiger, in the language of the tiger and the language of, black and white stripes, and we were talking about all the symbolism of holding the and both, right? It's both and. So that there isn't in your nervous system, it's fear or love, and then by the time you're in fear, you're trapped there. The love bandwidth will be the both and. It's a way of being in presence with whatever is in the vibration of loving kindness. So when I was saying the whale's in a meditative state, the whale is in loving kindness. And yesterday I was connecting with this, and I'm just contemplating perhaps a kayaking trip in Tasmania, and and I'm just hopping over and going to another ocean, and it all seems like a big deal. And you think of the migration patterns that the whales do from the Arctic to Mexico, or wherever in the world, right? From South Africa to Antarctica, whatever all the patterns are. These animals are functioning at the level, at a scale, and even butterflies, right? The monarchs, their epic migration, like they're operating. So we're all pretty pumped up about, they're showing me our planes, and we go from here and we go from there and we drive here and we think we're so mobile. But the animals, right? So many animals and insects are functioning on such, and the elephants, right? They can communicate over kilometers. Their Wi-Fi is way better than ours. So this whole notion that we're all pretty spiffy and amazing, we're in contact here with the whale, who functions at a level of competence on a global scale. And so if it's possible for these beautiful mammals to operate on a global scale with loving kindness and peace, surely it's possible for us. So if we don't just imitate the whales with our Wi-Fi and our cars and our planes and all that, but we actually are mobile like the whales and are connected globally like the whales, and we get to teach and reboot our hormonal systems and haul in our architects of survival, we can operate peacefully at a global level. So the image that I'm now receiving from Whale is she's saying is normally we think of water as womb and we go inside, and then it sort of becomes the opposite of global, right? It goes so internal. But she says right now, the water season we're moving into, we are going to be in the womb of the earth, which is all the oceans and all the water of the earth that is absolutely interconnected. So, because it might be confusing to talk about a whale and a tiger, suddenly we're back with the sturgeon here. The energy of the sturgeon, and for those of you in Toronto, there's amazing sturgeon populations in the Great Lakes and in Lake Ontario, and very high vibration. They haven't been chased for their caviar, so they've been around for a long time. And it's the steadiness of the sturgeon. The sturgeon lives low in any body of water that it's in, kilometers down, no matter. And the sturgeon, we were learning last time at the Energy Collective Transmission that the sturgeon relates to the earth, to the energy of the earth. And it picks up the vibrations. So in that sense, you can think of underneath the ocean, the earth, that's where the tiger is with its paws connected to the earth. That's where the sturgeon is. Think of the paws of an elephant, how they can feel the vibrations for kilometers and kilometers. So you're going underneath all that water and remembering there's earth underneath that water. And yet the circuitry and the element that connects all earth is water. In that sense, we're being reminded that we are mostly water, and that we are right now renovating our water environment. And we're starting early. We get to practice, we get to learn, we get to figure out how we're going to do it. We get to think about our coffee intake, our sugar intake, our video game habits, anything that accentuates and accelerates our stress hormones, and also our habit to go towards drama as well, right? So this is the time where I think we're given, what I'm getting is this rehearsal is also a kind of assessment and an observation of what's in our way in terms of renovating our hormonal system. So for many, herbs are going to be coming in handy. Visits to your naturopaths are totally in the scene. Anybody in menopause, premenopause, all of that. And including teenagers who are just on the eve of starting their periods or have just come into that whole menses cycle. They're all, support. I'm getting herbs, support, information, and taking care of yourself at that level, supporting yourself, and then looking at what you can change, what kind of changes you can make, and then practice. And what I'm being shown is you could start by saying that daily you're going to be engaged in the busyness at the surface of the water, and daily you will find and connect to your depths. So we're not so much, during the week we're going to be on the surface, and on the weekends we're going to go on to the depths, for instance. or however you've organized your time. I'm getting more to honor the 24-hour cycle and really look at how you live each 24 cycle. And there might be the climate during the work week and the climate during your weekends, but both those climates and conditions are to be looked at and taken into account. And there's no judgment here, right? This is all about, like, it's a opportunity to upgrade our game so that we feel better. And ultimately, there's a lot of possibility, a lot of hope, a lot of, because if the architects of survival are not going to be in charge, right, we're talking about moving toward thriving. Ultimately, that's what we're talking about. And if we're talking about thriving, we're then talking about how is all this leading towards spring and setting you up into your next cycle of manifestation, which of course connects you back to your genius, to what brings meaning to your life, and your sense of orientation. The whale is bringing in her migration. So we are doing this 24-hour cycle, but we're also, she says, because I've come in early, we're going to have a long season of water. And she says that overall, we can consider this season, which starts now December, we're in it. So I'm already on December 1st. Sorry, you guys are on the 30th, I think. But, right, we're already from December. We can think that we have a migration time now to the spring, to March 21st, when the wood is going to come in. So she says, you're going to be doing this, but in honoring that cycle, you're going to be taken through a migration from where you are now and potentially a much better place, just in terms of your sacred flow. So in other words, she's saying it's change a la waterway and a la whale way, but ultimately a migration of we're here now. And if we honor this and go into it, we can be in a very different place in 4 months and look back and go, wow, this is the moment in my life where I've engaged in that kind of transformation. Right? And the thing about water is it's beautiful because it's not like wood where, the trees there's going to be baby fruit in a few months. There's no pressure here to manifest, right? It's happening in the element that is about finding the seeds in the womb, right? The seeds in the deep well of your being. So it's a beautiful element to learn how to thrive without connecting thriving with external proof of manifestation or success or acknowledgement or validation. Yeah. Ananda Mahima is sending her blessings, and she's blessing your migration to each one of you, and to however many people who will watch the recording. She is blessing the migrations. And just to conclude, the tiger is saying, remember that I'm in the pause, but when you're in the metal and when I'm the guardian of metal, remember that I'm your core dignity and I'm your sense of self-worth. So the whole self-worth business and your whole sense of core dignity is absolutely key. The fact that water is overlapping is she's connecting with that self-worth and with that dignity and the change outside of external validation that I just mentioned. So that is, we're laying that in and then going on that migration of self-respect, with self-respect and with a sense of a release from the pattern of having to prove anything, but rather to be in service, to be aligned, to be kind, and to embody loving kindness so that it is in action in your life every day. Whale is saying, reach for me, many pictures, many images of me. When in doubt, watch films of me. Let that rhythm go into your body by witnessing it. For any of you who have actually seen whales, remember those whales that you interacted with. That is all medicine that you can reactivate. I have shivers. I saw some whales in Tadoussac a few summers ago on a kayaking trip, and right? She's saying all those whales, all those encounters, and any of the films and the documentaries, any of the footage, any of the books that speak of me, they will all help you learn how I live, what I know, and what I embody. And the tiger is like, just deal with the black and white. It's both and. Yeah. Yeah, keep absorbing that, the both and. Yeah, yeah. Blessings, yeah, big hug. Thank you.